Hi, welcome to another episode of Budget Freedom. My name is Jessica.
And my name is Cristo.
And we're here to continue our story, part 2 of our journey on this debt-free life and e-commerce business. So we wanted to catch up on where we left off last time. Last time we left off telling you guys about how we selected our first product, which was hats at the wholesale market that we went to. So basically, once we bought the hats that we thought would be a good thing to start trying out to sell, we came back and yeah, there were a lot of interesting moments. First of all, pictures, guys. Do you want to tell them how funny that was, trying to take pictures?
Yes, the first time taking pictures of the products was really funny because we didn't know where to start from. And I actually have a professional camera, DSL camera. It's a Sony Alpha
But it's also an old one. I mean, we bought that one in
200 or I can't remember.
But
anyway,
we bought that in 2008. It's not even a new model.
Anyway, but still, I have a camera, and then I used to take amateur pictures here and there. So then we didn't know the requirements for Amazon or
Well, why don't you tell them
eBay.
what the requirements are? What the best requirements are?
Well, actually, the requirements for Amazon pictures, you need to have a white background, 255, 255, 255, 255. So that's the white background. And they need to be high quality, sharp images. They don't want anything. Yes, it needs to be a white background. That's it, and just the product. So you focus only on the product. But
and you also had the 2000 pixels. The zoom is it? What is it?
no,
2000?
what I do is my pixels. Anybody can do different sizes. The size that I chose, and I think it is the best to see the product, is 2000 by 2000 pixels. So I make it a square on a white background, 2000 by 2000. 1000 by 1000 is also good, but I tested it, and I think 2000 by 2000 you can really zoom in and just go in to the product and really
And that is
see
what
it.
is so important when selling online. Is that you have to remember that people are not able to pick up the product and hold it on their hand, turn it around, see what's on the back, see what's on the inside, see what it looks like from the side. So you really need to make sure that you give people that experience as much as possible online. Take it from every single angle. If you have 10 pictures you can load, max that out. Now I know on Amazon, especially on the mobile version, you can only see up to 7 pictures. So the other 3 are really pointless because 90% of people shop on their phone and they don't see them. So if you want to add the extra 3 pictures, that's okay. But make sure that your last 3 are like the least important pictures, and do that as well. Think of yourself shopping online, what you would want to see. So you want to have your main picture, which obviously follows the guidelines. Then the next picture needs to emphasize, the quality, the material, the color, the size, the different angles that would be important to you. If you just try to close your eyes and put yourself in the consumer's, put yourself as a consumer in the consumer's shoes for 5 minutes, you'll understand how to represent that product online. So a good exercise to do is just take any product, take a kitchen spoon or a bag or anything that you have in your house, and imagine you were going to the shop and you wanted to look at it to decide if you were going to purchase it. And then take note of what you do with that item. Do you just look at it and buy it? Or do you turn it inside out? Do you turn it to the back? And all those ways that you turn it and look at it, that's 99% what other people are going to want to see. So you want to take pictures of those different angles and then put them in that order on Amazon, so that when the customer comes to your product, they're going to be more likely to buy it because they're going to see, okay, the people really understand what it is that we're looking at. If a high quality item, they want to see the stitching, they want to see the quality of the material, so might want to take some close-ups of that. So those are all different kinds of things that you need to keep in mind, and we'll go deeper into that later on another video.
Yes.
We don't want to spend too much time on this now. We want to finish our journey for you.
So basically, what we were saying, yes, we just put the pictures down on the floor. We start taking pictures, shadows. Okay, I use Photoshop. I work on Photoshop.
But you didn't know how
I
when you
did.
started.
Yes, when I started, I knew minimum things to do on Photoshop. So yes, we just took the pictures. I think I don't know if we put the pictures and then we found out no, it needs to be on a white background. Or I can't remember how it happened.
No, we put them up with the white background, but they had shadows.
Yes, because I couldn't cut them. I couldn't. Yes, remove. I mean, the cutting was so bad. You could see
but
how
anyway, now they have so many apps.
Apps, yes.
And things that you can use. So if you're not into like
Photoshop.
him, he's a technical guy. He likes to do that kind of stuff and he's good at it. If you give it to me, there's no way I'm going to sit and cut a picture on Photoshop. It's not my field of expertise, it's not my skill range, and I'm just not interested in it. So if you're like me and you don't have someone like him to help you, especially in the beginning for free, because getting photos done can be very expensive if you hire someone, then just go ahead and get one of the apps. There's the Amazon app. There's a lot of other apps now.
eBay
for
also
eBay.
has its own.
But I'm saying there's general apps that are not even specific to the programs that you can use. And we'll go ahead and put a list of those for you in the description or on the next video that we do. So that's not a big deal. But yeah, so when we came home with those first products, there was a lot of fighting, obviously. He was like, oh, they're not going to sell. What are you thinking? You can't make that much money on it. It was really a nightmare. And I kept trying to explain to him, you have to value yourself. Even though we're a new brand, you have to value your brand. And you have to value the products that you're buying. And you have to believe in the products that you're buying. And we were buying very high quality products. And I was, you need to go and do your research as well. You go onto Amazon, you go onto eBay, and you see what has sold and what other people are selling these products for. And then also ask yourself the question, would you be willing to pay this price for this product? And then also remember, especially when you're doing a brand, you need to give your brand value. Okay, so if you want to create a dollar store brand, that is up to you. But people will get to know that. They will get to understand that your brand is not offering high quality, high value items. If you want a high quality, high value brand like our brand, then you need to make sure that you are the ambassador of your brand and also the lawyer for your brand, and and also the consumer of your brand. You need to make sure that everything that you sell and the way that you present it is something that you would be happy to pay the amount of money for and happy to recommend to your friends and family. And that's how I view everything. If I am not 100% happy with the quality of an item or the price of an item, then I will not sell it. Because for me, my brand is much more important. My brand image, my brand customers, loyalty, and what my brand stands for. So you have to ask yourself those questions when you're starting your company.
Yes.
What direction do you want to go in? And it's not that being a lower priced brand is a bad thing. It is not. But, going further down the line as well, this is going to play into, what niche you're going to pick and marketing. You cannot go too broadband. Like a lot of drop shippers and a lot of, resellers, they just go and buy from secondhand shops and sell. They're very broad-based sellers. So they don't have a niche. They don't have a brand because they never know what they're going to get and what they're going to resell. And that's great, and that's their category. But when you have a brand, you have to always think ahead and think long-term and think, how am I going to be able to market this? Because if you run an ad today for your brand, are you going to advertise it as baby items, as men and women's items, household items, toys, games, sports and outdoors? If you have 4 or 5 of those categories, your ad spend is going to go through the roof. Yeah. You are not going to be able to afford it because you are competing with so many other people. And it is expensive enough to run an ad for 1 category, let alone 5. And this is a mistake that we made. In the beginning, when we decided what we wanted a brand. We had decided we wanted high quality items. We had decided we wanted to sell items only from Europe. Made in Europe, I mean. We didn't want to buy stuff from China and resell it. Even though we did try it at one point, and we'll tell you about that. We have since regretted it and never done it again. Again, not because it's wrong, it's just not our cup of tea and what we want to do.
Right.
So you need to make a list of all the things to consider before you even buy your first product, and learn from us. Learn from the mistakes that we made and from the challenges that we went through, and do it better than us.
Right.
And, you know, make money faster than us, and make double your money faster than us. That's why we're here, is to share all of this information with you so that you can have a leg up. Because when we started out, okay, we had that one video series that just was an instructional video, really, of how to sell on Amazon. But we didn't know who to trust and who to follow. And then the other thing was, again, with brands, most people were not doing videos on that. So we were really a fish out of water, as they say, flapping around on the beach.
But even still today, there is not so many videos of, you know, doing a brand. It's all about drop shipping and, you know, second hand. So I haven't seen many videos. Maybe if you search really for,
I have searched, and it's really hard.
And what else I wanted to say is to add to your story there, is that what I think is also what we've seen in this past 5 years that we've been doing our business, is that I think products between 20 and 50 euros are selling really well. So I don't know, I think that's also, yes, if you're going to go into...
Well, again, that depends on your brand and your niche.
Well, yes.
Products in the range, you're very correct about that, and that's one thing that we learned, and I'm glad you brought that up. Products in the range of 20 to 50 euros or 20 to $50 make you the best profit.
That's it.
It's not that they sell the best. They do sell less than products, obviously $5 to $10.
Obviously.
$5 to $10, you're going to be selling 100 to 200 a day. But what is your net profit on that? And I'm talking about net profit, because people don't calculate that. They think, okay, I'm going to sell something for $12. I paid $3 for it. I have another $2 in shipping, you know, another $1.50 in Amazon fees. Okay, great. I'm making $4 clean out of it.
Right.
But that is not clean, because out of that, that's your gross profit. Out of that, you need to pay salaries, your time. Your time costs money. I mean, assuming you're wanting to make this a full-time job at some point, you need to be prepared to work your salary into it. Obviously not at the beginning, but you don't want to build a business model that doesn't allow for that in the future. So from day one, you need to assess, okay, if I need to be getting this out minimum, that needs to be a payroll cost. Then all your other costs, you know, telephone line, shipping, packaging products, obviously returns. We talked about that in the last video. And I have to break this all down for you guys on the budgeting side, but returns are a huge, huge factor that you need to consider when pricing your products. Advertising is another thing. There's also, if you're going to use a returns agency, it's not just the return, but it's also paying the return agency fees, the label fees, the warehousing fees. There's a lot of things that go into it. So at the end of the day, when you really calculate it, you might be coming out with $1 or $1.50 on a product like that if you're lucky. So if you're making $1, $1.50 per product, you need to sell at least 200 a day in order to be a viable business to where you could possibly quit your job, obviously depending on what your financial needs are. So that is another model. And again, a brand usually, you could have brands that would sell for that price range. Maybe if you're in party supplies or office supplies. Trying to think of some other ones I can't think right now. There are brands that could sell cheap. But it's there's a lot to consider. Where when you go into the $20 to $50 price range, there's still high costs, definitely. But you do have more potential to make a better profit that can jumpstart you a lot quicker. But then again, you can't just buy a generic baseball from China and sell it for $30. Nobody's going to buy it.
Exactly.
You know, so you have to be realistic as well. Just because you put your brand on it, your brand right now is not a known brand. It's not Adidas or Reebok or whatever. You know, those brands can put their name on a piece of paper and sell it for $20 just because it's got their brand on it. You want to build your brand to that point, and that's why I say don't undervalue your brand. Make sure that you give your brand a value from day one. Defend it, represent it well, don't ever defame it. Make sure that wherever your logo is or your website or when you send your parcels, it's in a state that you would be happy to say, yes, that is my brand. And where people will also feel like, wow, okay, this is somebody who's serious. This is a real brand. They actually care about their products, and I can trust them, you know. And that's one of our biggest things, actually, is we have a very, very high rate of return customers. I would say 30 to 40% of our customer base are return customers.
Yes.
And we see it all the time. Third, fourth, fifth purchase. We see it after 2-3 years, they come back and buy another hat.
Yes, and they're so happy about it. They saying it's I can't believe it. Even after 3 years, we're getting the same quality from day one that I bought it. So it's very important to put all your heart into your brand. Definitely, if you're
gonna
gonna
have your standards, like you said, quality. We check every single product that we have. So if we make an order today of 200, let's say hats,
I will check each one.
We actually sit at night or sit on the weekend. We go through every single hat. We check for defects. We check for marks. We check for anything that could be wrong with it before we put it on our stock shelves and say, okay, this is ready to be sold. We don't ever just take something.
We don't buy it, just put it, and we don't check it. Yes, you whatever.
I mean, we make mistakes. Like sometimes you miss something here or there, but we do check things.
Yes.
And that's another reason why we don't advocate FBA. Well, there's a lot of reasons for that, but it's one of the big reasons that I will not go with them, or I will not use any fulfillment center, actually, because I don't want to. You know, it's expensive. If we have to ship the goods to us, check them first, then repackage them, and then release them. That's an extra shipping cost that we then have to put onto the price of the product, which is also not fair to the end customer. But then on top of that, if we just order it and send it straight to the fulfillment center and we don't have our quality checks in line, the damage is so much greater. You know, we could have hats going out to people that have defects, and we do find defects, even though we work with really good manufacturers and we have a really high standard and they know us, things still happen. So if we lose a customer that could possibly come back and buy from us 4 or 5 times over, that's a huge loss for us. Like they say, customer acquisition costs are the highest costs in the business. So it's a lot cheaper to make a return customer happy than it is to try to get a new customer.
Well, your return customer is your most valuable customer.
Exactly.
End of the day.
Exactly.
That's what you're looking
we have
for.
customers that buy and then come back I've seen 2, 3 days, 5 days.
Yeah.
I mean, quick turnarounds.
Yes.
They'll like one hat, they'll come back and buy 3 different colors of it, or they'll come back and buy 2 or 3 other different styles. Sometimes they'll buy the exact same hat, and we still haven't cracked out why. I mean, we're assuming they're buying maybe as a backup or for family members or friends that saw it and loved it. We don't know, but whatever it is, it's great. But yeah, so you really want to watch out for your brand.
Yes.
From
Take
day
care
one.
of your brand.
Yeah.
Take care of your brand. Like a baby, you know. It's like a newborn baby. You have to give everything to it. If you don't, and if you just say, well, I'm just having a baby and I don't care, then it's not going to work. You got to look after that baby. Yeah. That's all.
You got to help it learn how to walk.
Yes.
Learn how to eat.
I mean.
And take care of it and teach it the right way. Definitely. So I think that's the main message that we wanted to get through on this video.
Yes.
Really sit down and think about where you want to go with your brand. Do you want it to be a higher value brand, or do you want to go for a lower end brand? Whichever you want to do is great, but just try to understand the model that you're going to have to follow, and start making notes and points on what you think would be important. And then we're going to go ahead and put some tips down in the description for you, and we'll obviously continue this discussion on the next video, give you some more step-by-steps to help you out. There's so much information to cover.
It's just crazy.
It's really hard to try to get it into 2 or 3 videos.
But we'll try our best to help you, to give you our experience to you, and hopefully you can get something out of it and help you guys, because that's why we're here. End of the day, we are in this on this earth to help each other, and that's what people don't understand. We need to help each other with love, kindness from our hearts, and that's what we're trying to do. Straight from our heart, we want to give everything to you and hopefully make you successful. That's what we want to get to you. So thank you for watching. Once again, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, please. If you have comments, comment, and we just send you our love and wish you all the best.
All right, have a great day. See you next time. Bye.
Peace out. Ciao.